Are you a Gateway participant with a question, concern, or complaint? We want to hear from you, and this is how to reach us. Send your concerns, questions, or feedback directly to support@gateway.cchub.africa. Once your email is received, you'll get a response within 72 business hours. If something feels unsafe, wrong, or uncomfortable, you can report it right here in the portal. On your dashboard, click the Report a Concern button, fill in the form, describe what happened, attach any evidence if you have, submit. You'll get confirmation on screen straight away. This reporting channel is available only to registered Gateway participants. Reports are confidential and sent directly to our safeguarding team. You may also email safeguarding@gateway.cchub.africa. We also have dedicated addresses for training and community inquiries. We're committed to supporting your journey every step of the way.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. You're welcome to today's school session for general gig work. How are you doing today? Yes, this is the month of July, so we are having our school session. Can you tell me where you're joining us from? Just put in the comments there where you're joining us from. Nasri, thank you. I can see you said, I'm always happy to be here. Thank you. Tell us where you're joining us from. Thank you. Okay, from Kano, Nasir from Kano, digital marketing. Thank you. Thank you. Let's keep joining, dropping the comments. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nasir. Thank you, everyone. Yes, my name is Loretta. I'm a training coordinator for the Gateway program. So I'm happy to join everyone here, all general gig work tribers. Yes, I can see Smart from Kano. I can see Desmond from Lagos. Thank you all. I can see Ahmad. Ahmad, good afternoon. Drop in the comments where you're joining us from. So today's session is going to be very interesting as usual and very impactful. And we are going to be doing something different from what we've been doing as from our previous school session. So I want you to pay attention, ask questions, listen attentively, and ensure you get the best from this particular session today. So thank you. I can see Sarah Michael joining us from Kaduna. I can see Shahid Adeoshun joining us from Lagos. You're welcome. So get ready. Have you prepared your question for today? Because you're going to be interacting with the training providers, the experts in the field, the ones that they've been on the field for long, for years, and they've experienced everything about gig work. They've faced challenges, they faced hurdles, and they've been able to overcome them, and they're seeing the business. So write down your questions, whatever you've started practicing, based on what you've been taught, whatever challenges you've been facing, the hurdles you've been facing, or the questions you have. Maybe you were stuck somewhere in the course of putting into practice what you've been taught in the general gig work. Write them down, ask the questions in the sessions. Okay, thank you, Favor. I can see you, video production, yes. Oluwasegun from Oyo State, you're welcome. Yes, I can see favorites from Abuja, you're welcome. You're welcome. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. So today we're going to, like I said earlier, we're going to do something very different from what we've been doing before. So we're going to be inviting students and participants like you from the Gateway project, from the Gateway program, who have joined the general gig work. They've moved to the business management and also to the financial management. They're not the alumni of the Gateway program. They finished their courses and they are done awaiting transition into the gig platform. Even self, some of them are still getting little gigs. So they are here to share their experience with you, to motivate you and to tell you that whatever you are facing is not an excuse, because if they can go through it and they can also finish successfully, not just finish it successfully, because they're among the top learners for the Gateway program, that means you can do it. So are you ready for them? Let's put it in the comment section. If you're ready for them, clock it on in the comment section. Let's clock it in the comment section. Yes, you're welcome, Madamu Ahmed. I can see you from Kaduna. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's keep the comments rolling. Let's keep the comments rolling. Let's keep the comments rolling. Where are the ladies in the house? Where are the ladies in the house? You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, Smart said we are ready. Okay, you're welcome. Let's keep it coming. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. So get ready to be motivated today to move on to your gig work. Get ready to be motivated to proceed and to progress in your course of learning. So yes, today I would like to welcome Martina, one of the participants of the general gig work, and she's going to come and share her experience so far with us. So Martina, are you ready for us?
I am.
Hello, Martina. Good afternoon.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Hi. Please, can you introduce yourself
Hi, good
briefly to our
day.
participants?
Okay, yes. My name is Martina Emmanuel. I'm a product designer. I've been working as a product designer for the past 4 years. So I'm also an alumni. I've finished my courses on the Gateway program. I've gone through all 4 stages, and I am so happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much. We're also happy to have you here. Thank you. So, we would like you
Thank
to
you.
share your experience. What was your experience like in the course of the program? So, would you like to share your
Okay.
experience with us? What it was like? Let
Yes.
your other participants hear from you and be motivated.
Yeah, so my experience initially, after I registered, um, when I was going through the first course, I was still trying to find my footing, and then when we started the general gig work course, when I started that, my interest literally peaked. Like I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this. This is going smoothly. This is going nicely. So going through the courses, it has been a wonderful experience. That's what it has been a wonderful experience. I've gotten to be more intentional. Not like I wasn't intentional before, but going through all 4 courses and taking in all the knowledge, because I ensure that I milked the courses. I really milked it so that I can like maximize it to the fullest. So going through all of those 4 courses, it really added to my knowledge. It really added to my knowledge. I learned a lot of things. Like I one part that I really loved the most was when we started to learn about AI. I was like, okay, so it's not even just about the skills. It's not just about me business and finances. And they actually included the things that are in, should I call it, trending nowadays. AI is everywhere. They actually included that in the course, and they taught us how to write like great prompts, and it was just really insightful for me. It was really insightful. It's really added to my own knowledge personally.
Wow, that's very beautiful and interesting to know. So, also, was there any particular assignment or project or portfolio task that really had a great impact on you in the course of program? What assignment had a big impact on you in the course of the program? What assignments or portfolio tasks or capstone projects that had a big impact for you in the course of the program?
Sorry, the audio is breaking, so I didn't get that.
Okay, can you hear me now? So I said, what assignments or projects, capstone projects, that had a
The
big impact for you on you in the course of the program?
oh. Okay, so that would be the last course, the financial
Yeah.
management course. Sincerely, prior to that time, it was almost as if I was not keeping track of my finances. I started at some point, and then I just got overwhelmed. Like the thing was a bit tasking for me, so I stopped. So the assignment that we had, the last course, the financial management course, the spreadsheet that was shared with us, and now everything was already automated. That one is really encouraged me to do more, like track my expenses more, be more responsible as a person, because I know, well, in Nigeria you can wake up and say, okay, I don't have any expenses for the day, and before the day runs out, somebody has called you 2k here, 5k here, 10k, before you know it, you've spent 100,000. So I was not keeping track of all of those little expenses, but now going through the financial management course, I'm so intentional. Apart from the spreadsheet that was shared with us, I downloaded a budgeting application that I used to track all my finances and the expenses and everything. I tracked the littlest 200 naira that I spend. If I buy a bottle of water, I'm going to put it there. I bought water at 200 naira.
Wonderful.
So it's made me to be more it's made me to be more intentional. It makes me more intentional. And I'll always give a shout out to, I don't know, I've forgotten her name now. The lady that took the financial management course. Big shout out to her. This was an awesome experience for me. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. So, being a nursing
Yeah.
mother, so how were you able to face the learning? How were you able to face your learning and your challenges? How did you overcome it? Because we have some people already saying that, oh, that's self-paced, online, it's not easy. I get distracted or I'm overwhelmed with office work. But I know you have to. You're a product designer and also a nursing mother. So, how were you
Yeah.
able to finish within time?
Okay, yes. So, because first off, it's self-paced and it's online. That was one of my biggest advantage, the fact that it is online. So what I did was that I had to cut out some time for myself. So after working during the day and mothering and wifing and everything, once all of those things are done, once it's like 8 p.m., I'm going to like sign out of those duties and then focus on the gateway program. That was what I was doing. So what I dedicated at least a minimum of 2 hours every day. I dedicated at least 2 hours every day. There were days that I did more than that. Like I said, my interest really peaked after the first course. Like I was so interested. And once something catches my attention like that, I like to just pour myself into it. So after just cutting out those 2 hours, I will tell myself 2 hours, but I will spend more than 2 hours so that I will make progress fast and I can finish the courses on time. So once it's 8 to 10, sometimes till 11, at times it can even be 8 to 12 a.m. I'm there learning, taking points, writing it down, doing my assignments, taking my tasks. And there are times that my baby would wake up and I would have to leave it and go and attend to him. I'll attend to him, I'll still come back. I'll just continue like that. At some point I was almost there, like, okay, when is this thing going to finish? I think I was just in course 2 at the time. When is it going to finish now? Finish this thing. But then I just got this energy again, like, no, this thing is very, was it I think it was business and business manager. I think I finished that course in less than 2 weeks because I was just badging and badging and badging. I wanted to just milk everything as soon as I could. So cut out time for yourself. I would say you should cut out time for yourself, be intentional, shut down distractions. My goodness, that's another thing. Keep your phone away from you, turn off your data or wi-fi, just get your maybe your laptop. If you use your phone to study, then you can turn off notifications and get all the knowledge and milk it as much as you can. Yeah. Okay. All right. I can't hear you, so I don't know if you can hear me.
To ask you now, the impact, you said what really stood out for you? Oh, Martina, you said what really stood out for you for the general gig work course was the AI course. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I
You
can.
said
I can.
what really stood out for you, the general gig work course was the AI course. So
Yeah.
how were you able to use the AI lessons that you learned on general gig work? How were you able to apply it to your current work?
Anyway, yeah.
Because
Okay.
I
Yeah.
saw your
So
capstone project. It was
there's
really beautiful.
hardly
So how did you apply the AI course skills that you learned from the course into the project product design? Oh, Martina, I think network is back. So, guys, you've heard a lot from Martina. While we wait for her to get back, well, you've heard a lot from Martina. She said she was intentional about it, that she shut down every distraction, including her phones. Even while she was even nursing a baby, she was still able to pull through and finish the course successfully. So, what's your excuse if a nursing mother can do it? What's your excuse? Okay, welcome back, Martina. So I said the impact of the general gig work course, that's the AI. You said AI stood out for you, right? So how are you able to apply AI into your current
yeah.
work now?
Okay. Well, in this current in this present time, there's hardly any day that I don't have to use an AI tool. Just today, I've used ChatGPT to edit some images. So, what in the part of the AI fluency module that stood out to me was the prompting part. Before I will just say, "Oh yeah, AI, do this," and I'll be expecting what I'm imagining in my head. So I'll be expecting imagining in my head. But when they taught how to prompt properly, how to write prompts that are actually like produce way to all this while that was being because tell ChatGPT do this and to do another thing, then it's now be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But when they taught us how to prompt with that as a an acronym that they gave us, when it taught us how to prompt properly, I that back and forth that I used to have with AI tools, it's reduced greatly. So it helped me to save time. So whenever I have to maybe have like a mini brainstorming session with any AI tool, either Claude or and then the AI will be trying to imagine what I have in my head. Now I prompt AI better. Um the results are better. My time before I can spend like 45 minutes and I'm still doing back and forth. But I really
Oh, okay. I think a network. Yes, yes, yes. I agree with you, Shahid. Yes, poor network. So, guys, you've heard so much from Martina. You've heard so much from her. So she has really shared and emphasized with you because even if you find yourself in the general gig work gateway program, because I know so many of you, you reach out to us that, oh, this is not my skill, this is not my track, because we're tracking digital marketing, UIX design, graphic design and video production. Even when she found herself there as a product designer, she didn't say that okay, it's not her skill. She still used it, applied it to her own skill. So, guys, you have no excuse without even being told. You're supposed to learn whatever you have been going through, your lessons, and apply it to whatever skill you have now. Like she's sharing with us. I'm a digital marketing. Okay, she's back. Okay, welcome back, Martina. Can you hear me, Martina? So I'm a digital marketer. When I see the AI schools, apply to my digital marketing skills. Apply to whatever you're doing. If you're going for your Google ads, if you need the AI skill to help you, give you ideas, prompt it according to what you need for the Google ads. If you need the AI skills to prompt for your SEMrush, because of course you have to find keyword search for those who are doing SEO and SEM for the digital marketers, you understand, you need the AI skills to prompt all those things. So even for the video production and editing, you still need AI skills. So don't assume that, okay, that I need more foundational courses, more. No, whatever you've learned now, take the AI skills and prompt it and apply to your everyday skill. I'm not saying that you should rely on AI. There are ethical uses of AI. Don't just rely, because some people will just carry ChatGPT text and put it to their work, ChatGPT pictures, designs and put it to their work. No, you're going to edit it and make sure it works for you. You're making AI to work better for you, not to do all your work. Can you hear me, Nasir? Because I can see in the chat comment said the network is bad over there. Can you hear me clearly now? N Express, can you hear me? So nothing should even stop us. We have no reasons to stop. So now you ask yourself now, okay, if you are in module one or you are in module two and you had a pause, why did you pause? What's your excuse? If a nursing modern can move on and finish the course, what's your excuse? So if you're in module three or you're in a capstone project, why are you pausing your capstone project? Why have you not submitted it? Why are you not progressing to the business management? Why are you not progressing to the financial management? You can see from what she said that right from the general gig work, she got different impactful lessons that she's applying to her present gig work. So from the general gig work, she got the AI skills. From the financial, she got how to manage her finances. So what are you waiting for that you are still stuck in general gig work, or you've not applied for the general gig work, or you've not joined the growth pathway? So tell your friends, tell your brother, tell your sister to come and join and let them get the best like Martina got. Okay, Martina, are you with us now? Is your network okay now?
Yeah, sorry. I think my network was bad.
Okay, okay, you're welcome back. So thank you so much. You can just round up what you were saying then so we can invite the next guest. Martina, are you with us? So anyway, thank you, Martina,
I didn't get you,
for
ma.
okay. I think you can round up what you were saying previously and we can invite the next guest so we don't take the all of your time. Oh, poor network, guys. Thank you so much. So thank you, Martina, for joining the session. Thank you for sharing your experience. It was really, really motivating, and I believe I and other participants on the call, we've learned a lot from it. Thank you, guys. So this is the general gig work school session for the month of July. So we are here to endeavor that every questions that you have, the questions you've been asking in the forum session, the questions you'll be sending to the training mails, the questions you'll be sending to support, the trainers are here now for you. So whatever question you have, direct it now to the chat, let them see it, and they would attend to you. They are here for you from now till the 5 p.m. So ask your questions, be intentional about your questions, and ask questions that you know you'll be able to apply to whatever you are in your current course now. Are you with me, guys? Thank you so much. So I would like to invite the next coach for today's session, Mr. Ope, skill part general gig work. So I'd like to invite him. Can we clap in the AI session? Can we clap in the chat session? Sorry. Can we clap in the chat session as we welcome Mr. Ope?
All right. Good afternoon. Hope you can
Yes.
hear me loud and
Yes,
clear.
we can. You're welcome, Mr. Ope
All right.
and
Thank you.
Martin.
Martin, yeah. Hi,
Good
Martin.
afternoon. You're
Hi,
welcome.
everyone. Yes, good afternoon. It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you here once again.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So, Mr.
All
Ope,
right.
you have the floor. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So, first of all, I mean, I was really inspired by Martina's testimony. We have Martina ahead now.
I know,
So,
right?
Martina's testimony. I mean, for a mother, a wife, I mean, that's really inspiring. In fact, it just shows that, you know, a lot of people don't have excuses, right? It's all about deciding that this is what you want to do and putting in the effort and the work. And definitely it will pay off, which I believe is already paying out off currently. So I'm just going to give an introduction of the Skill Party program. Sorry, I said Skill Party. Sorry, of the Gateway Gig Work program, um, and what the structure of the program itself is, so that you can understand what you're experiencing already, and if you have not started, you can know what to expect. So we understand that the world we live in today is technology driven, and a lot of the behaviors, around how we do things is changing every day, right? Which then means that we have to adapt. And one of the areas that is being impacted is also how people get opportunities, so whether it's job, whether it's gig, whatever you call it, how people get opportunities. And so one thing that is different today is that the traditional way of looking for talents and also getting opportunities is no longer as effective, right? It's no longer the trend, so to speak. Right now, there are a lot of talented people who have learned skills, and the organizations who want their skills. And there are also businesses who want their skills. And so the gig work program is a program that was properly structured to help young people build their skills, especially in gig work related type of opportunities. And then secondly, help them understand how to navigate, the space. Because like I said, every new um, innovation comes with new ways of doing things, right? So traditional job requires that you show up every day to your office. Requires that you have a team lead who oversees what you do. There's an accountability, you know, mechanism that ensures that you get to do what you're supposed to do on a daily basis, and then there's a way to reward or measures to also, you know, um, to also reprimand, as you may have it, if you don't do what you're supposed to do. So basically, the Gateway General Gig Work Program is supposed to help young people build the right skill set that is necessary for the gig work era, right? Which pretty much is you being able to work from anywhere in the world and to work for anybody in the world, right? And so that's what the program is all about. And it starts with some introduction, helping you know what the program is about, and then goes into, understanding the mindset that is required. And so you understand the mindset, and then it goes on to tell you about the different platforms that exist, which is not exhaustive. There are many platforms out there, but just tells you the ones that are prominent today and how you can sort of begin to build your profile on those platforms. And then you go to learn more around how to build your brand. So you have to understand that even though you are an individual, you're a business entity, right? So you have to see yourself as a business entity. And so there's a course that talks about how you can, you know, define what your brand positioning is and what your offerings are to your target audience, right? And then you then get to learn, things around how to stay professional, how to treat your clients, how to also ensure that you create proper pricing around what you do. Understanding that at the beginning you might not be able to price as high as you want, but what matters is understand that there's a long-term play, which is that I'm building, and just like career, I get level one, level two, level three. So as you go higher, I mean, you can't enter, you can't get a new job as an entry level person and want to earn the MD salary. Obviously, that won't happen. So you first start from a base salary, and then as you grow in the organization, you then begin to charge more. So same thing in the gig work space. When you get in, because it's very competitive, you most likely will charge lower, and then as time goes on, you can then begin to scale upwards, right? Um, so you learn about how to price, how to manage your money, like Martina also shared how she's able to manage her money, and then you learn how to de-risk what you do in terms of ensuring that you don't part with work where you're not getting paid. How to manage. We're going to talk about some of those things today. How to manage scope creeps, how to deal with difficult clients, all those kind of things. I think some concerns that people have that we'll talk about today. We also the course also provides some information around how to leverage AI to drive productivity. We know that we're in a world that is driven by artificial intelligence. So how do you leverage those tools to drive productivity, but also staying within the bounds of AI ethics, right? So because it's important to understand that there are ethics around using AI also. So just it's a robust program, and in between you have a lot of practical exercises. You have tests just to help assess what you've learned, but more importantly, are the practical exercises that you have, regarding that the exercise that helps you practice what you've learned, so that as you go along in the course, you're already building the skill sets. You're already building your profile, already working on the platforms, and you're doing a lot of these things to help you improve how you position yourself as a gig worker. So there are practical exercises that you do, and there are also sort of tests that help you just assess your knowledge level. um, and then, I mean, it's important to know that for all the assignments, you are required to first download via Google Word document or a PDF. And then once you've done the assignment, you can re-upload on the platform. So where you're able to submit your assignments, all of that is provided for on the platform, right? And if you have any questions regarding technicalities or the technology of the platform itself, the email to direct your questions at. So, by and large, the program is supposed to help you become a better gig worker. It's to help you be more structured as a gig worker. It's to help you to be more competitive as a gig worker. And by and large, is to help you, grow as a gig worker. So it is a very robust curriculum that has been structured and developed by experts, in the field, with the likes of Martin, who also will be speaking to us. So it's all supposed to help you prepare for the world that we live in today, where anyone can get opportunities from anywhere in the world. But the question is, are you ready for those kind of opportunities? You also learn how to deal with global clients, understanding some of the challenges around, time difference, around currency, around how to manage expectations. All of that is also important. 'Cause I know that, I mean, a lot of gig workers that I speak to, they all want to start earning dollars from day one. But obviously, it takes time to get there, right? Before you secure your dollar or pound paying clients, it takes some time. Some people get it, I mean, from the early stages, but you have to build a profile to get there. It's all about credibility, all about the strength of your profile, and all about you just being patient sometimes, right? In fact, many times it's about being patient for the right opportunity while you train and build capacity, right? So yeah, so in summary, I encourage everyone, if you are not consistent, be consistent, because this is the tech program. Finish the course, then you probably will struggle in the professional, right? So it's important to take the course, be consistent, do your assignments, ensure that you do it to the best of your ability, do the test, just go through it properly and in time. Don't go through it in time so that you can move aspect of being a gig worker. And I'm really grateful to the CEOP team, and I mean to Mastercard, for this opportunity to be able to help younger people, build great career opportunities. All right, I think that'll be all. So I'll be around to take more questions, but for now, that'll be all. Just a brief summary around what to expect in the program, and then I think we'll go into um, some specifics around areas that we believe we've received a lot of comments around that people want to know a lot more about. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm Martini, and I am a gig worker. I've been doing this for over 10 years, and please spare me share allow me share a couple of things that I find very useful through my experience as a gig worker. Now we're going to really be talking about managing self and managing clients, or around managing time and projects, right? Time projects and differentiations as a gig worker. Time projects. Okay. All right. Can anyone signal if you can see my screen? Thank you. Just signal if you can see my screen. Okay, perfect. Perfect. All right, so let's get started then. Time projects and difficult conversations. These are important things that you need to have as a gig worker. And just to drop a couple of points based on what Ope had mentioned about this, it's that um, your clients are looking to meet certain goals, and it's just about you positioning yourself in a place where they can see you as a the best option to meet that particular goal. So they are goal oriented, and it's just about you yourself having the right capacity to help them meet that particular goal or outcome, right? So this is for those who are outcome oriented, right? Where you understand the need of a business and your goal to help. It's you could see it as a sequel or our previous, um, really be around and difficult clients, which is something you would most likely experience, right? As we have, both, easy to work with individuals, and then harder to collaborate with or work with individuals as well. So you see them as clients as well. So in terms of project management, it's important to see the two sides where you are both self-managing and also client managing as well. It's super important, and it's something you will definitely experience. I think it's great that at this time you're getting prepped for it, because it's a major aspect of you of your experience as a gig worker. So basically, self-management has to do with the time and project management. Basically, you're building the plan, pacing delivery, and managing the client's time as much as your own, right? You're managing the client's time as much as your own. People do not necessarily consider managing the time of clients. And I'll give you an example. Or rather, I'll give you an example when we start talking about it. Then the second point would be difficult clients, handling impatience with clients, scope creep, excessive revisions, and pricing pressure, without damaging the relationship or the brand. This is super interesting to me. I hope it's going to be to you as well. So the very first step is self-management, right? Building the plan upfront. So in this, the major concept around this is building out a plan for a project based on the outcome that you're meant to achieve for a business or an individual that hires you for to meet a particular goal. At this point, you are breaking the project into clear phases rather. You are setting a timeline and dates for each phase, and generally, you are doing this from an outcome perspective, right? The next thing is that you are answering the optimal delivery question, right? The first question you need to be asking yourself is what needs to happen to deliver this at the best speed and the best result? So you're not just thinking of the best speed, you're also thinking of the best result, right? So I want to achieve this result for this client at time T. And this is the you might ask why. This is the answer. As a gig worker, you are trying to meet a specific. I expect that based off of the for those of us that have gone through the financial course, I expect that you are also conscious of the fact that money has value in time, which means money earned in 1 week is better than that same value of money earned in 1 month, right? So money's value increases with respect to the time frame that it is earned, right? So we're going to be looking at that perspective as well in how we map out a project, right? So you're asking that very important question: what is the best path to achieve this result time T, or the best time frame to handle this end? So speed and quality are not opposites in this phase. You are ensuring that quality is delivered, but delivered timely, right? And this is going to work for not just your clients, but it's also going to work for you as well, based on what I said. It's better for the business or the individual for you to meet that goal at that specific time, because when they meet that goal timely, it's better for their business. So goals met timely, income earned timely is better than when it is, unnecessarily stretched out. Right? And this is an understanding that has to come at the beginning of every project that you need to do to meet a goal for a client that you have. So basically, you're going to use this to plan. The question shapes the phases and the timeline from the start. So when you have your timeline that you want to achieve the goal, you can then start breaking it down into the necessary phases. I think it's super important, especially for those of us who are, especially for those of us who are outcome oriented, right? What you do daily to meet the goal for your client is not necessarily based off of, oh, them reaching out to you, I need you to do this task, every day, right? So when you're outcome oriented, your client will not necessarily come to you every day to do this task or that task, right? They will come to you for a particular goal to be met, and then you're going to discuss around the time frame that that goal can be met. Then you work and optimize continuously to meet the goal, right? And the reason why this is the focus for today is the world is moving towards that, right? Where every individual that is hired is going to be hired to meet a goal or an outcome. Nothing is going to be really task oriented. So, which is something one of the other coaches mentioned earlier in a previous presentation that talked about the importance to see how we can shift from just task-oriented mindsets to outcome-oriented mindsets, right? Because a bunch of things are going to be handled by AI. So how do you use AI as a gig worker to meet these outcomes? So those are things we'll be discussing in subsequent calls, right? So for this particular one, you want to ensure that you define the goal and at the time you want to achieve it in, right? And I'll give an example. For us, what I usually like to do is when I have a particular set outcome for a client, I like to meet it within 45 days, right? That's the usual expectation for them to see a meaningful improvement in their revenue, right? So I like to give them 45 days and I work towards that 45 days in 2 to 3 sprints, right? So we then break this down into expectations. And I'm going to then use that to segue into this next point, which is manage the client's time too, right? So I'll give you a straight out example. Sometimes, especially for those of us who work on, maybe everyone should experience this. Uh, Maybe you have you need your client to review something for proper alignment to the business and brand, and also to provide feedback. They can take, a full week, right? When it should just take them a day, right? So it's important. And what does that do for you? It stretches out the project and causes you to generate that same income at an unnecessarily stretched out time frame. It doesn't allow you to meet the goal for them at the time frame you would expect to meet it as well. So you need to manage your client's time. And how do you do this? You prepare that at the start, letting them know that every feedback will be expected within 1 to 2 days or whatever the time frame, depending on the type of feedback that you're expecting to move forward with your project. And then you're able to factor that in from the start. So first off, you want to agree on turnaround times upfront. Then, like I said, then you want to walk the client through the full timeline early, right? You want to let them know, okay, this is going to be actually within, for example, 45 days. There's going to be 2 to 3 sprints. And at the end of the first sprint, I'm going to provide this and this and this. I'm going to expect you to provide a response or a feedback in 2, 3 days after you receive it, right? And same thing with the second sprint, same thing with the third sprint, and then the goal is met, right? So all of those things are shared. And an interesting thing about this is that clients enjoy having clarity on the path to meeting their goal, right? Clients enjoy clarity on the path to meeting their goals. Okay, so moving on here. So the next thing that you want to ensure that both sides know exactly what is expected and when. You would ask, why does this matter? This matters to ensure that long projects are not the case all the time. Because long projects do not work for anyone, right? I'm not sure if many of us have considered this, right? You see a project that is lasting 3 months, 6 months, when it should just last 1 month. Why is it lasting 3 months? Why is it lasting 6 months? For the business, they might be a bit relaxed. It is your job as a gig worker to ensure that you deliver within, give or take, within that time frame that was scheduled. And when there's going to be a delay, there's early communication, and then that time frame is also updated and clarity. Everyone has clarity on that, right? So you see it as a case of you and your client working together to meeting that goal, right? So you need to let them know that they also have a part to play in the goal met at time T. So delay costs you revenue or income as a gig worker. You need to understand that. So timely delivery is timely revenue for both sides, right? The goal is met for your client timely. It means they are depending on what you're doing, they are closer to meeting revenue targets, right? Businesses are set up solely for revenue generation, and that revenue impacting lives connected to the business. So that, which means every goal that is set is targeted towards a revenue target, right? So timely delivery works for both sides, right? Okay. So this is the mindset that would make everything on the next 4 slides possible. Now, it's an interesting point. I'm sure a good number of us have experienced underpricing, right? But then I'm just going to share a few things around this and how you should treat it, right? Underpricing can be treated differently depending on the phase you are, right? So, but the very first question you need to ask yourself is, when you see a client who underprices, right? Just understand that if you're going to be, if your how you operate based on the outcome or goals you achieve for your clients is continuous, understand that the pricing they provide at start to do maybe the very first goal is an indication of the budget range or similar budgets they are going to be working with down the line, right? It's just an indication of their pocket size at the time. So you need to ask yourself before deciding to move on with the project. Am I willing? Can I handle this budget rate? Does this budget rate work for me, or does it not work for me? Right? So decide early if the budget works for you long term, right? And you need to be willing to walk away if the answer for you is no. The answer for you is no. You need to be willing to walk away. And sometimes, if you walk away politely, it could mean that the client comes back with an optimized budget, right? Um, Also, it could also mean that you lose the project, right? But you just need to come with that mind frame. Or if this is no for me, it means I can't work with this. This doesn't work for me. But if it does, if you decide to take it anyway, what you need to do, because sometimes you find yourself in that sort of dilemma of I got underpriced for this project. Do I need to do my best, right? You see people's attitudes will start to change because the client didn't pay as you didn't pay your normal rate. You need to remember you agreed to take on the project, right? So if you agree to take on the project, you are going to deliver on that project with the same excellence that you would deliver to someone who overpaid you. You're going to deliver with the same excellence as someone who overpaid you for a project, right? So attitude will not change. You keep delivering the outcome. Because then the question for you is, if you decide to take it, is what else can you do with this project, right? I like to think that way. I do not think profitability or profit is only in the income. It is also in what can you use with this as an asset. Profit is not only income but also assets. So the project you're probably handling that was underpriced could become an asset for you that you could use to meet that client or that group of clients with higher pocket sizes, right? Like I said here, let the project become a case study. Profit isn't only the fee, it's what the project can earn you afterward. So those are questions you need to ask yourself and you need to decide when you meet a client who underprices. I hope that clarifies and helps you sort of create more of like a template that you can work with when you experience a client who intends to work with a budget that is below your standard rates. Now, the next point is impatience, right? Based off of the foundation that we started with, you realize that impatience might not be necessary, right? It also addresses impatience. So most impatience comes from uncertainty if you really look at it, right? So you need to walk your clients through the timeline early, like we mentioned earlier. Then stay positive in tone even under pressure. Let's say an edge case where a client is unreasonable. You need to stay positive in tone even under pressure. You need to remember that you are representing a brand, the brand that you built, right? And regardless of how the relationship goes, you need to maintain that same positivity. I'll give you an example. There are even cases where you meet clients who, after you've done really good work, right, and you explain everything down the line, they'll still be upset. Everybody experiences that, right? They'll claim they understand, and when you move further, you get to the end of everything, meet the goals, or you meet the goal that was set as a result of the expectation. They'll tell you, oh, this is not what I bargained for. You bring out the documents or things you've set out before starting, they'll still not agree. Some people are just difficult people, you can't change that. So the question is, how do you deal with such people, right? In most cases, the most important thing is that you stay positive, right? Because your brand should communicate positivity, and maybe this will be something that we get to talk about in subsequent presentations about the soft skills, things that are not physical to the eyes but are very important for you, which are attracting assets or factors for you. One of that I'll mention today is positivity, right? Positive energy always attracts. So you want to always make sure that you communicate in a positive tone, regardless of the energy of the client. I'll give you, in most cases, when I've been under pressure and clients, are being unreasonable, the moment they come with so much negativity, I respond with positivity. Guess what happens? As always, their energy switches back to positive energy. So that's the impact of that. So you want to make sure that you stay positive in tone. Sometimes, interestingly, I might not necessarily be feel positive at that time. So what I do is an interesting trick I do is I will take my message that I've created, I pass it to maybe one of these AI tools. I type under it, make this message refine this message into a positive tone, right? I take that and then I paste it and send it out. So they don't get to see the inner workings of the brand. They just get to see what the brand wants to present to them, which is positivity, right? Another thing that works also a lot is you sleep on a message, right? You sleep on it, and then if you're upset, you sleep on it. You're able to process and um, put things together before you reach out and communicate. And whenever you're communicating, you're communicating progressively. Every communication from your clients is based on an intent. I mean, this is another soft skill that we'll discuss another time. It is the ability to see a message and infer the intent. Take that intent and it's the intent you refer to, not necessarily the message, right? But then this is impatience, right? So impatience can be dealt with in this way. Now, scope creep, right? Scope creep. So one of the things there is setting in the beginning when you're setting out the timelines and all of that. It's important to also state what the scope is clearly, right? You set your clear scope, limits at the start. You put it in writing if need be. It's better to put it in writing, especially if it's a new client. Um, you name the extra cost when needed, or you state that it will incur extra cost, anything outside of that, if you have variable costings depending on what you're supposed to achieve. Some people charge by, so this is also another topic, but let's talk about it little. Some people charge by outcome, some people charge by effort, right? So depending on how you charge, your extra costs will be stated that way. Sometimes you might not have a specific cost because the scope creep, whatever is needed, might have its weight. So if it has its weight, you can, leave it open or leave it open that there'll be a charge for it. But if you have your prices depending on what that is going to be, you can easily state that out. Yeah, so it's also important that you stand firm and stay professional while preventing scope creep rather. So being firm and being positive are not in conflict, right? You can be positive while being firm on your stand with respect to the scope of a project. Please don't forget, always stay positive. Don't lose the positivity. The moment you lose the positivity, you've changed the whole, direction of the project, and you don't want that. That doesn't work for you, doesn't work for your client, doesn't work for anyone. But it's your responsibility to make sure that you stay positive at all times. Right. So maybe that's also something you need to think about as well. Like, what are values that your brand gives off? Maybe that's something you need to take out time to do. It's something I've done over the years. I have clarity on what my brand stand for, and I'll tell you three out of them, two or three out of them. One of them, like I've said, is positivity. Another one is value and progressiveness, and the third one is um, making life simple for my clients, right? So I don't tell them to do things I know I can do by myself, right? Some people, you see, they would burden their clients on unnecessary things. You don't need to do that. Provide to them what they need to do. And I'll give you a quick example. This is a little segue off this, but it's also very useful for you in terms of how you deal and relate with your clients, right? For example, if a client reaches out and they want me to do a couple of things, if I have some details about their brand, right? I make research before I give them my first response. And when I respond to them, they think I've known their business for years, right? Automatically they feel like they're at home with me, right? So all those kind of things are things that ensure that gluing or gluing factor dealing with clients. So I hope that helps. So now when you get to the case of excessive revisions, you know, um, standard is 1 to 2 revisions, right? But depending on the type of project you're handling and all of that, you can work with it. It could be one, it could be three, but just know that you have to have a number of revisions set out for you, right? And sometimes the number of revisions. So this is an interesting thing. The number of revisions can be your positioning, right? It could be that in your industry, the number of revisions is two, and you could decide to make it three. Why? Because you're trying to stand out in a unique way, right? So you don't give them something extra. Then what you will now do is you can then maybe increase your price a little, which will then cover for that last revision. So it doesn't need to be, tactical about it, and make your client happy and also be happy in the process as well. So you need to state it up front, and boundaries are easiest to hold when they are set early. So one principle runs through all of this, as we've seen. Boundaries stated early are agreements. Boundaries stated late feel like conflicts, and that's a fact, right? So if you didn't state it early, if you state it later, um, it could lead to a conflict. But the truth is that sometimes there might be some things you've left out, right? Especially if you are working on edge cases. The best thing to do in that case is while you're communicating it, speak positively, and think not only of your own interest but the client's interest, right? The client's interest. Speak in the client's interest as well. With that, it will be taken very well, right? Set the terms before the pressure starts, not doing it. And make sure that while you are setting up these agreements, it is stated with complete positivity and with the goal of clarity, and so that you can meet the outcome you want to meet for them. Yes, I'm speaking in interest. You're trying to make the outcome you want to meet for them timely and in a way where they are comfortable through the process and communicating in their interest, right? Even if your interest is there, you're communicating with them in their interest. That's how the world works, or this world works. So, in all of this, the major goal is managing yourself and managing your clients to earn revenue or to earn your income timely and be successful as a gig worker. I hope this was helpful to everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can
Thank you
everyone hear
very
me?
much,
Okay,
Martini, for that wonderful session.
it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, guys, I know you really enjoyed that session and it was impactful. So, he has said a lot about managing self and managing clients, how to manage yourself always. You know how to communicate with your clients, you know how to engage them, you know how to deliver your work accordingly. Thank you so much, Martini. So, yes, Smart TV is saying, oh, thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for the comments we are getting. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session. So, this session now, if you agree with me now, I believe you have questions to ask. So, where are your questions, guys? Ask a question in the chat comment, in the chat box there. Ask your questions. Our provider is still very much available to answer those questions. So ask your questions. Oh, okay. Shout out to Martina. Martina, your journey is encouraging me. Is encouraging to me as a mother too. It's not easy. Some days I question why I started. Oh, yes, I know it can be very tedious learning online and also as a nursing mother. Thank you for that. Kudos to you, Martina. Despite you being a nursing mother, you still push harder to become invaluable person today. Yes. Also, yourself, you can push yourself harder to become what she what she is today, or even more than that. Thank you. Shout out to Martina for that. Thank you. So please, after this live class, will my next level be unlocked in my gateway journey? I think you need to, for destiny, you need to put more context to that so that we understand what you're saying. So, guys, bring up the question for Martini and for Mr. Ope. What questions do you have for them today? Have you started creating your portfolios? Have you started engaging with clients? Have you started checking your designs? Have you started doing? Okay, someone is saying, how do we create AI prompts that will generate exactly what we wanted to design? That question is for Mr. Ope. Say, how do we create AI prompts that will generate exactly what we wanted to design? I see Mr. Ope smiling.
All right.
How do we create that?
I mean, I can almost see this person's mind. I don't want to do anything. Just do what I want. I don't want to do any extra
Exactly.
work.
And
So,
there's prompt
um,
engineering. They want to do shortcuts to everything now.
this AI matter. Um, okay, so the way it works is, you have to first of all know what you want, right? And you have to document that. And that's where people get it wrong. So for example, I want to design a graphic. You just say AI, design a flyer that can sell cakes or that can sell computer. Of course, he was going to give you something that is going to be random and generic. So the same way for anything else, you have an idea of what you want to see. So you have to document it. So you have to write it down. That's why my document. You have to write it down. So your prompt should be very specific. So for example, it's like giving a client a brief, right? So for example, if someone tells me I need a design that sells computers to young people, this is the target audience, blah blah blah, and I want it to be in this particular colors because that's what's attractive to that target audience. So that kind of prompt will help you generate something that is closer to what you want to see. So first of all, you have to think about what you want to see, right? What do I want to design? And then write it down. And then based on what you've written, you can now put that prompt into whatever AI tool you're using. And then it will give you your first draft. And obviously, the same way we design, when you to design, don't blame it on AI. When you to design, you do a lot of iterations before you get the final output. So why do you want AI to just give you the first output as your best output? No, it doesn't work that way. So you put the right prompts, which is writing down exactly what you'd like to see, and then once you do that, it will give you your first output, and then obviously there will be some iterations, change this, change that, before you get your final output. So AI is not supposed to exist by itself. It's supposed to be supported by human creativity and intelligence, right? Remember that AI is leveraging data that exists, so you have to also give it something to work with. All right. So the next question says, I'm stuck at where to submit my capstone project brief, but don't know what particular steps to get myself right. Please help with an example. Um, so maybe you want to clarify this question. I'm stuck at where to submit. Is it where? Okay, I'm stuck at where to submit my capstone project brief, but don't know what practical steps So if it's about where to submit your capstone project, there is a submit button after the capstone project brief. So there's a place where you click on submit, and then you can upload the file that you have used for your project, and that submits the capstone project. So that's how to go about it. So there's a button on the platform where you see submit your capstone project, right? Submit capstone project, and you can do that on the platform. But if you want to know a bit more, then you might want to clarify what you're asking. All right. Any more questions?
prompt prompt your AI very well, and also iterate your job. Don't just do garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. It's unacceptable in the gig ecosystem. Garbage in, garbage out. That means every organization can do that and also decide that they don't want to employ anybody because AI is there for them. No, they need originality in your work. So now the next question says, I'm unable to access my LMS portal since I registered. So I think you need to put more context to that. But if you're unable to access your LMS, just log out of your portal, your student portal, then log in again, go to training, or you go to your LMS, then you'll be able to do that. If it's still not working, please clear your cache browser, your past history, and log in again. Thank you. So do you have more questions, guys? More questions, bring in more questions, practical questions. Be intentional about your questions. Ask the questions you are supposed to ask for this program. Okay, so I say I just started Gateway program recently. In my few days in the program, It has been taxing and demanding. This is what I have been looking for in a long while after my undergraduate days. Beautiful. Thank you for that, Emeka. So I believe what Martina said, because I know you did a shout out to her, it has motivated you so that you can move on. If she can do it, you can do it
Yeah.
too, Emeka. Thank you for that. So more questions. Okay, please, after this live class, will my next level be unlocked in my gateway journey? Okay, thanks for that. So your next level, for you to be unlocked in your gateway journey, you have to finish your general gig work course. Make sure you go through all the course, submit all portfolio tasks and the capstone projects, do all the quizzes you're required to do. Then when you're done, it's 100%. Automatically, the next course is going to open for you. But if it doesn't, go back, log out of this LMS, go to your student portal, try to access this LMS there, sync it to your LMS, sync your LMS there, then log in, then you should see the next course. But you have to finish your lessons. So more questions, bring in more questions, guys. Bring in more questions. Martini is there to ask you. If you know you've been trying to set up that account, that Upwork accounts, the Fiverr accounts, whatever gig platform, if you're trying to set it up and you're stuck or you want to make it look professional, here is a professional now. Ask him how to go about it and how to do it. So he directs you. Then also from today's lesson, how to manage yourself and your clients. Ask more questions, what you should do. Okay, honest if you say positive energy, that's good. Bring in your questions, bring in your questions, bring in your questions, bring in your questions. So for today's skill up and life expert session, we are going to be putting the link on the LMS. So if you know you have a friend who was not able to attend this, or you have families who could not attend this, or you have someone who said, okay, I just want to see how the live session is before I register, share the link with them, go to your LMS and go through it again. If you know you've missed it, go to your LMS. This is going to be up on your LMS so that you go through it again and pen down your questions for the next live session. So guys, bring up your questions. We're waiting for your questions. Also fill the attendance. The attendance is in the chat. The attendance is in the chat. Please fill the attendance. The attendance is in the chat. Fill up the attendance, guys. Fill up the attendance as we bring up our questions. So are you saying that you don't have any question? Hello, are you saying that you don't have any question? Okay. Emeka said, we know all these clients, we know how all these clients can be if you leave your charges open and at the end the client is charging a ridiculous amount that doesn't work for you. What do you do? I think this question is for Martini. Yes.
Hello, Nika. Thank you for your question. We know how these clients can be if you leave your charges opened and at the end the client is charging a ridiculous amount. That doesn't work for you. What do you do? I'm guessing you're saying that if you leave your charges open, that means if you don't put a set fixed amount to your project, the client can, state a very ridiculous budget. Now, like, what do you do based on that? That's a fantastic question because there is a really good answer for that. Now, depending on what you do, the goal you're trying to achieve for the customer, right? A standard practice that I implement is I build a so I understand the budget range and then I build a path to meeting their goal at their budget, right? And that could also mean that, for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say, okay, a website now, right? For those who design websites and build websites, we could be talking about a sort of like a 5-page website, and a client will give you a budget that is quite ridiculous. Now, this is how you do. You shrink the scope to their budget, right? Meeting either a maybe somewhere within their goal or moving them closer to their goal. Either it meets their goal or it moves them closer to their goal. Now, this is an example. You want the website for their business, we discussed through maybe like a 5-page website. Most times I would advise that you have a price attached to most of these things. It works better. But then if you and then you can always review your clients, you go online, look at their profile to see how you can, create a budget for the project, or you by yourself create a budget range for your project, all right, for your work, right? And in the case where a client is communicating a budget based off of maybe the nature of your project, right? So what you can do from there, right, is especially on freelance platforms. Now let's make it on freelance platforms because freelance platforms are highly competitive. So what freelancers or what gig workers, by the way, what gig workers do today, right, is they don't outrightly most times drop in the price for a project to a client. What they first mention it is what is your budget range, right? Sometimes I'll state this, some clients don't like it, but if the client, some clients won't provide it. So if they don't, just come up with your pricing. But if they do, based off of their budget range, reduce the scope to meet their goal or to move them closer towards their goal. That's the best way to handle it, right? And then it still becomes a win for them, and it becomes a win for you because you didn't go beyond the scope based off of their budget. For example, they stated a ridiculous price, and you talked about a 5-page website, right? What the question is, what is their real intent? Their real intent is to have maybe a digital presence. So based on that ridiculous price, talk about how you can maybe reduce those number of pages into 1 or 2 pages to still meet their goal. Instead of having service pages built out separately, have the service as sections in the homepage, right? So you can see how you can, find a way, if possible. There are prices that you should not be continue discussion on, right? So a price range that is quite ridiculous, but then you can find a way to shrink the scope of your efforts to meet their budget range and still meet your goal. That's the sweet spot whenever you find those type of clients. I hope that helps.
Thank you so much for that. Emeka, I
My
hope that
pleasure.
clears the answer. Thank you, sir, from Architects. Thank you, sir. So,
Yeah.
guys, fill up our attendance sheets. It's in the chat box there. Fill up our attendance sheets. So, someone is asking from Smart TV, what are the main causes of impatience?
Hello, Smart TV. I think we took that in the presentation. So one of the major causes of impatience is uncertainty, right? Is uncertainty. If your client is not certain about the process or time frame to the outcome, they will get impatient, right? Another reason could be internal reasons. Maybe some certain things change in their business. The time frame to meet the goal was updated and all of that. They get impatient. I found situations where I'm not working directly with the business owner, and then I'm working with a representative, maybe the executive assistant or whatnot. So once the business owner changes the time frame to meet the goal, the executive assistants become impatient, and then that all just changes everything. So we get to meet, change how things look at how we can meet the goal within the new time frame, or state it clearly that it can be met, and state clearly what can be met within the new time frame they are looking at achieving that. So, but most times, once you can achieve this structure of stating out clearly what is to be achieved and the time frame and what is the expectation of your client, even through the process, right? It takes away uncertainty or lack of clarity. If they feel like they're moving blind, they get impatient and all of that. Yeah, but you still find those who are unreasonably impatient. Those ones, I don't think there's an explanation for them. It's just really about how you can handle them positively and firmly. Yeah,
Okay, thank you for that. So, Mr. Akpe, I don't know if you
pleasure.
have any addition to that, the main
Addition.
causes of impatience. Thank you so much, Martini.
All right. Thank you. And I think Martina already did a great job at providing a response. But I think also some clients just want everything yesterday, right? I mean, I'm sure you've heard this a lot of times. I want it like yesterday. So there's some clients that are like that, and that's why, as a person, don't overpromise, right? Don't overpromise. I know that you want to make money, you want to earn, but don't now say, don't worry. They said 2 days, I mean, I can do this in one day, and then you start the process and find out that This thing has comma and question mark down the line. So understand how long it also about self management. Understand how long it takes you to do stuff to get stuff done based on practice, so that you also don't overpromise. So once you understand that, so if a client says, "Oh, I need to deliver this design in 2 days," but you know that you can't, just it's better to turn it down. Saying no is fine in this space because it saves you a lot of reputational hazard. A prospect will not, and I mean, Martini can clear this. A prospect will not give you a bad review because you said no to their job. Yeah, but when you take on the job and you don't deliver, then they'll give you a bad review. So please try and avoid a bad review as much as possible. So it's better to say no, I'm not available, I can't do this, I can't meet your timelines. Or even after you've done what maybe Martinez said, the person said, this is your structure. Why will it take you? You know, some clients they'll say, why will it take you 1 week to do this thing? Is it not just to is it not just design? Is it not just a document? Is it not just presentation? Why? Once you get into that, is it not just? It means that you also have because you can also have a bad client. Let's not, let's be honest. Yeah, the same way you can be a bad gig worker or a badly behaved gig worker, you can also have clients that are like that don't understand value and how to quantify value. So you also have to protect yourself. If you see a client is already saying, "Oh, this is your work. Why will it take that long?" Is it not just a small this thing? Can't use AI? Can't you? Once they're already questioning your process, then that's a red flag, right?
Right.
So
Right.
run. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So to also add to that, thank you, thank you for that, for bringing it to life because I think people need to understand how this thing is a standard of what you continue to experience, and sometimes in certain things like this is also about how you respond to it because you can't avoid it. Also, something that is also works in line with communicating with positivity is communicating in their best interest, right? So if they say, why shouldn't this take 2 days? Then state that, oh, if I do it within 2 days and this and this and this, you will not get this and this quality that you're looking for. They will shut up, right? They will just follow you at that point. But there will be the case of those who won't, right? So when it comes to those who won't, and I think that sometimes when you see that you have to communicate a lot on the value that you deliver, and um, and why you need to do what you need to do to get there. If you can see that you're having back and forth on that with a particular client, I would advise you to leave that client alone, right? Especially when you are on a platform like Upwork, right? So there's something that happens on Upwork and these platforms these days is everybody is choosing each other, right? So if a client comes, you are also vetting the client. It's important. Go and check the client's reviews of other gig workers. If you see that they like to give bad reviews, do not work with that individual. There are plenty. Yeah, they just give people 1 star, 2 stars. If you see the pattern, you see that, oh, you've given almost 5 people, 5 out of 7 people bad review. That means the problem is not the people, it's you. Do you understand? So in those cases, just leave them alone if you do not want to spoil your brand on that particular platform. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Martini. So, guys, you've heard it. Avoid clients that will give bad review because that means a red flag. And also, relational management is key when you are engaging with clients. Hope you got that clearly. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you, Emeka. Thank you for your response. It was really helpful. So please, guys, scan the barcode there to fill the attendance. Scan the barcode there to fill the attendance, please. Scan the barcode to fill the attendance. Thank you very much. So still bringing your questions. They are here to answer your questions. Make sure you bring up the questions. Okay. Someone is saying, apart from AI, which software can UI UX designer use to get all designs? Apart from AI, Mr. Okpa, I think this is for you.
I think it's coming from the same N Express. N Express is trying to achieve something. So.
It's really AI Express. Mr. Okpa, I think this is for you.
Express, you don't want to do anything. You just want the software to do everything for you. Anyway, I mean, I also I mean, I'm not sure get all designs, but maybe used to do designs, but it's done. You still have to put in effort. Let me just put that there. But there are different tools, for designers. Now it depends on what type of UI UX. Okay, sorry, I say UI UX, right? So I mean, different designers use different tools. Obviously, there's the Photoshop suite. There's Figma. UI UX they use Figma. In some cases, you may need to use Illustrator if you are trying to create a different type of experience. But yeah, there are different tools out there, but I think the popular ones are Figma. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's I believe that's most of them. There's also this tool that was recently created by Google. I think any experts will like this a lot. It's Stitch by Google. Stitch by Google. It does a lot of the design work for you. I just get to do the rest. But the truth about it is, I think it's important for UN Express to know the work first, right? Because the issue with AI is AI doesn't have enough judgment. So those who are working with AI have to have the judgment to guide the AI in the right direction. So if you start your journey using AI all the way through, you would find a lot of unhappy clients with your work, right? So you need to know your odds before you give AI all the work to do. Yeah, and also need to be sure that you want to be a UI designer or you want to be a product manager, right? Given the fact that you want to put a lot of work on the AI to do the designs, it means maybe you want to give out the design and play the role of the actual product management. So maybe you also need to think about that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that, guys. So if you have more questions, please direct it to our mail, training@gateway.ccup.africa. And also scan our attendance form now. Scan our attendance form now. Like the facilitators, they've said that do not overpromise and underdeliver. Do not overpromise and underdeliver. Do not overpromise and underdeliver. So ensure that you underpromise and overdeliver, but be strategic about that so that you don't lose clients. So you just know the balance of everything in the general gig work ecosystem. So scan the attendance, please. Scan the attendance, fill our form. If you have more questions, please direct it to training@gateway.cco.africa. Training@gateway.cco.africa. So thank you guys for attending today's session. So this is the end of today's session, but we'll give you some time to please attend to our attendance form, scan it, fill it, and also to direct all questions you need to ask concerning the LMS, concerning your portal, concerning registration or your stocks in any module or lessons. Please direct it to training@gateway.cco.africa. And if you have more questions for the facilitators, please, there's a session in the LMS forum session. That's the forum discussion. Always put your questions there. They are there to attend to you before the live session. So you don't have to wait for a month before you ask your questions. You can ask your questions on the forum discussion platform and they would answer it. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ope and Martini. Really appreciate your time today. So see you next month, hopefully. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Fill our attendance form. It's still ongoing.
Are you a Gateway participant with a question, concern, or complaint? We want to hear from you, and this is how to reach us. Send your concerns, questions, or feedback directly to support@gateway.cchub.africa. Once your email is received, you'll get a response within 72 business hours. If something feels unsafe, wrong, or uncomfortable, you can report it right here in the portal. On your dashboard, click the Report a Concern button, fill in the form, describe what happened, attach any evidence if you have, submit. You'll get confirmation on screen straight away. This reporting channel is available only to registered Gateway participants. Reports are confidential and sent directly to our safeguarding team. You may also email safeguarding@gateway.cchub.africa. We also have dedicated addresses for training and community inquiries. We're committed to supporting your journey every step of the way.
I've been stuck on the sidelines watching life. Same routine, just getting by. Skills on top, kicks passing by. Too much grind, not enough pay. I know there's more and I won't pretend. This is where the change begins. No more waiting, no more doubt. Right now's the time, I'm breaking out. No distractions, no excuses now. I'm locked in, I made a vow. From learning hands to earning plans. I rise, I build, I understand. The gate is open, I'm walking in. Through the gateway I begin. From learning to earning, I'm on my way. Turning my skills into gigs every day. We rise together, we won't break. Every move is mine to make. The gate is open, I'm stepping through. A better life in everything I do. New skills, new mind, new frame. I'm not the same, I've changed the game. From ideas to real results. Turning my skills into paying gigs. I see the vision crystal clear. Opportunity is here. What I build is what I own. I plant the seed, I fully grow. No more doubt, I know my worth. I'm creating value on this earth. Step by step, I claim my space. Rome is now my daily base. The gate is open, I'm walking in. Oh, through the gateway I begin. From learning to earning on my way. Turning my skills into gigs every day. We rise together, we will break. Every move is mine to make. The gate is open, I'm stepping through. A dignified life, I'm coming through. Oh, oh, oh. This is my moment, this is my call. I stand up strong, I won't fall. Through the gateway, I claim my place. A few